Good afternoon. My name is Craig Cook, and I'm coming to you from the law offices of Craig O. Cook, and I want to talk to you about nursing home negligence. A lot of folks don't like to deal with this, especially if they believe something bad has happened to their loved one in a nursing home that they may have helped them to put them into. And after the dust clears a little bit, they will want to know, how do you file a complaint against a nursing home? So what I'm going to do is walk you through this on how to file a complaint against a nursing home. Make sure that you make a complaint to the Office of Long-Term Care in your particular state. And what I might mean by that is there are offices or regulatory agencies or regulatory offices in the state of Arkansas and Oklahoma that kind of monitor the care that elderly people are getting, or even not even elderly people who are in there as a result of some catastrophic accident in nursing homes or rehab facilities. And there are also, besides the nursing home, there's one level down, residential care facilities. So file a complaint within that office so you can have a paper trail of what has occurred in regards to your loved one, whether they may have been mistreated and are still living, or may have, as a result of mistreatment, may have passed away. And that just helps to get focus on that particular problem, and also helps to document that particular problem in case you retain counsel, which this is what we did, is we prosecute nursing home negligence cases. If a loved one is deceased, you'll need to contact an attorney's office as a result of foul play. You more likely than not, will have to, in Arkansas, to make sure you don't suffer some pitfalls, have to have an attorney prosecute a wrongful death case. In Oklahoma, you kind of can do it, but not really. You'll still need to have an attorney to prosecute in Oklahoma a wrongful death case. Because you've got to gather the medical records, set up in the state to get those medical records, and you've got to get experts to opine on the particular cause of death, what caused them, and sometimes you got situations in regards to wrongful death cases where you'll have a person, for instance, that has a broken femur, broken hip, broken long bone, and they pass away 6 or 8 months or 12 months after that particular event. The defense in those kind of cases will come in and say, well, they didn't die immediately, so you don't have a wrongful death case. The problem with that is, yes, you do, because the break of that particular long bone, studies have been done that shows that it dramatically contributes to that particular loved one's cause of death, shortens their lifespan for a myriad of reasons. Next, like I've talked about in other different videos, you got to set up in a state before the nursing home is going to give you any records. You got to set up in a state before a hospital that they may be discharged to from the nursing home is going to give you the medical records. You got to set up in a state before the ambulance folks are going to give you medical records. I've had a few exceptions to this, very, very few, but you got to set up in a state to get those records. One thing that has become apparent to me in regards to nursing home cases is you'll find all kinds of good gems in regards to what I call the run reports, and not just nursing home cases, in other cases too, and run reports from ambulance companies. So the ambulance will show up to pick up a particular loved one from a nursing home and take them to the hospital. A lot of times you get the truth on actually what's been going on with that patient, with that ambulance interaction with the particular nurse that's bringing the patient or has the patient right then, because they don't have time to prep to tell what really is going on with this patient. There's a truth moment, I guess you might say, sometimes in those ambulance records, and so it's something you always got to have. Something else too, when they get to the hospital, the medical care providers at the hospital, be it the nurse or the doctor, the person's not able to speak. So who do they talk to? The ambulance person. And what's conveyed by the ambulance person to the hospital person, which is going to be the nurse, the RN, LPN, or the doctor, is then going to get the medical record. So not only do you have in the run report, X happened, or grandpa and grandma didn't eat for 5 days and now they're septic, or they've lost 15 to 20 pounds the past 30 days. That gets in the run report, and the run report gets into the medical records. Sometimes the medical care providers may call the nursing home, but a lot of times those ambulance reports are just vital. You got to have those. And that's one of the other reasons we're talking about is you got to set up in a state to gather all the records. Finally, in regards to nursing home negligence cases, you got to have your attorney draft a petition or complaint. But basically in your petition or complaint, you set out your allegations, you set out who the person is that passed away, that there's an estate set up, what you're asking for, what violations has occurred, the damages that you suffered and that you ask for a jury trial. You need to, or you do have to have an attorney to file a petition or complaint about 99.9% of the time. And if you don't have an attorney do that, then you run the risk of making enough mistakes to allow the statute of limitations to expire and having the case dismissed. So best policy is contact an attorney's office, get the petition and or complaint drafted. We, just by chance, do that in both states, Oklahoma and Arkansas. We draft a bunch of these, file a bunch of these, and have been pretty successful in both states. So if you have a situation where you have a loved one that's in a nursing home that you believe has passed away due to errors, whether it be medical errors, sepsis, falls, dehydration, uncleanliness is a sign of some type of understaffing, or understaffing which leads to all these things. One other thing that you want to do when you have a nursing home case, you believe a nursing home resident is being mistreated, try to take down some notes of when you go in who you talk to. I have a lot of cases where I have people who say they went and seen their grandma or mother in a nursing home and they'll be nurse so-and-so, but they can't remember that person's name. Try to write that down, especially if you see things are not going the way you need to. If something bad does happen, later on you've got those notes to refresh who you talk to, and it helps the counsel that you hire to prosecute that case. Contact us at the Law Office of Craig L. Cook. You can go to our website. There'll be a person that pops up to ask you to give them information. You can also go to the contact form, punch that, send me an email, get it to me. Or you can call us at 479-783-8000. That's 479-783-8000. Thank you.